Zeri's auto attack is an ability, and Zeri's Q ability is an auto attack. Confused yet? In a nutshell, Zeri's Q is her auto attack, similar to but more literally than Karthus Q and pre-rework Urgot Q. What I mean by that is that it applies on-hit effects and can crit, scales with AD, but cannot apply ability effects. So what about her actual auto attack? Zeri's auto attack scales with AP instead and consumes 10 charge to use, but can be used even at 0 charge. Charge is similar to energized passives like Rapid Fire Cannon and Storm Razor, generated by moving and attacking, which in her case means using Q. It does triple damage against enemies below 35% health. When at full charge, the attack instead does higher base damage, scales with 80% AP, and 3 to 20% of the target's maximum health in magic damage, as well as slowing them by 20 to 40%, both based on level. These apply ability effects, but not on-hit effects nor crits. So building AP amplifies her magic charging auto attacks, as well as on-ability effects like Ludens and Night Harvester. Building AD boosts her Q physical damage more, and just like a normal auto attack, her Q has its cooldown lowered by attack speed. Zeri's Q still counts as a cast, so it can proc and apply Sheen effects in one cast. Although it is an AP item, building Nash's Tooth will apply on Zeri's Q as well, meaning with that and Lichbane, her Q is not useless for damage, and in any case can generate charge when building AP. After that, Zeri's kit becomes simple for a bit. Her actual passive steals shields from enemies, meaning when you deal damage to a shield, 60% of that post-mitigation damage, meaning after damage is reduced by resistances, is granted to Zeri. Zeri's W is a simple skill shot that deals magic damage and slows the first enemy hit. It scales with 100% AD and 60% AP, so is useful on both AD and AP builds. If it is used through a wall, the shape of the spell becomes like a Lux ultimate, striking through multiple enemies. The damage does not change, however, but of course it can damage and slow multiple opponents. Zeri's E is a short dash normally, but can go the entire length of any wall you cast it through, like a Bard portal. Any use of Zeri's E will empower her next 3 Qs to pierce enemies like a Twitch ultimate. The secondary targets will take 20% less damage, but at max level will take the 100% damage. Zeri's E will reset her basic attack timer, as well as her Q cooldown, and can have its own cooldown reduced by 1.5 seconds by using Q or a charged basic attack, meaning AD and attack speed Zeri builds will naturally be more mobile. Zeri's ultimate does an AoE explosion around her, dealing magic damage scaling with 80% AD and AP. If it hits an enemy champion, Zeri gains 3 stacks of overcharge per champion hit. By using the ability, she also gains a steroid of 30 to 40% attack speed and deals extra magic damage on hit like a Nash's Tooth, but it also changes to 4 subsequent targets like Static Shiv or Hextech Soul. These secondary targets are dealt 25% total AD physical damage, which can also critically strike. Every fully charged auto attack during this steroid will grant another stack of overcharged and refresh the duration of overcharged stacks by 2 seconds. Each stack of overcharged provides 2% bonus movement speed to Zeri. Additionally, Qs cast during the steroid will fire 3 rounds, but quicker, both in firing speed and projectile speed. By the looks of things, the main difference between AD and AP builds is going to be the use of the passive AP auto attacks, with APs preferring to save up huge bursts of magic damage, generating charge with Q, whereas ADs will focus on Q spam and DPS with quick passive zaps instead, but maybe charging up for a slow where necessary. I hope this will be useful to you whether you plan on playing as or against Zeri. Currently, Zeri is only out on the PvE, and will be released in about a week's time. So do bear in mind when Zeri goes live, or perhaps weeks later after she goes live, she may have been buffed, nerfed, or potentially even reworked depending when you're watching. In any case, if you did like the video or found it helpful, please do consider dropping a like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.